rip sessions. We never get enough. The Card Life Chronicles. Big hits, hold that card up high. Old time fun and a wild surprise. The Card Life Chronicles. A wild surprise.
Hey, what's up? Jonathan Fink, Sports Card Collectors Club, and this is the Card Life Chronicles podcast. It's spontaneous most of the time, but now there's an official time. Every other Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, we'll do an official time. So those who can't catch my late night sessions like this, we're starting at midnight on the East Coast on a Saturday morning, Friday night, but it's a special night because 2026 Topps flagship football released. And we got a bunch of stuff to rip, and we're going to have a fun rip session. For those who don't know, what does the flagship mean? Flagship is a term that's used in maritime. It has to do with the Navy and shipping vessels. You know, the commander of a fleet is always in a ship that has a specific flag, and it's the leader of all the vessels, and it's called the flagship. So this is the flagship football product, the first time in 10 years that that Topps has the license back, and yeah, it's a big deal. So this is the flagship. So it's the first one. So it's paper product, mass produced. There'll be a huge print run, but there'll also be a lot of fun hits. And of course, there's the new rookie class. And so this is the new formula for all the Topps products now. They have all the major licenses, except they don't have golf or tennis or hockey, but football, basketball, baseball, you get the drill. So yeah, so it's flagship, and they roll out different stuff. Now, what's interesting is the very, very last product that comes out is Topps Resurgence. Now, in my upcoming book, the baseball guide, I get all my books confused. The Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 2, The Flip Life, which comes out on December 1st, now on pre-sale. I rip packs all the way through the end of the Panini era, all their football packs, products at the end. And then when the new Topps stuff started dropping, it was at first unlicensed. But I was so curious to check out what they were going to drop and, kind of like see their playbook for the future. And so I did rip a bunch of their new products, including Signature and Resurgence. So to get warmed up, we're going to rip some 2025 Topps Chrome, which I haven't ripped yet. And we have Topps Signature, which, of course, I ripped in my book in non-licensed. This is now going to be licensed. And then we have now finally licensed Resurgence. So after we kind of get warmed up with that stuff, we got a bunch of 2026, and by gosh, this really is freaking heavy. You really get a lot of cards. I feel like you actually do get pretty good value. Now look, the hobby box costs $120 MSRP. They were charging $195 at Dick's, $200 everywhere else. So I looked at the cost benefit analysis, and I went with the low cost stuff. Dick's Sporting Goods had limits. You were allowed 2 hangers, so I bought 2, new packaging style, by the way. And I bought 2 blasters per limit. And then even though I wasn't really going to go with mega boxes, I actually wanted a high box. I was hoping to buy it at cost, but I did buy two megas. And then I swung by my favorite card shop. Shout out to Jordan Neal at the baseball card store. And I did pick up 3 more blasters. So we got a lot of rip tonight. We'll, as always, we'll take a quick break for 5-10 minutes, and we will let the chat fill up. And we'll get started here tonight. And we'll warm up with the Chrome 2025, and then all Topps' new products, which ended last season, with rookies like guys like the whole cast of characters. No particular Jackson Dart came to mind. And then we'll rip all this 2026 flagship. And all these are officially Card Life Chronicle material. All this stuff I will be writing about in Volume 3 of my book series, Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 3 of the Card Life, which will be so much fun to write. There'll be a lot of cool chapters in there and cool stories. So anyway, let's let the chat room fill up. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys. And we're going to have fun. I'll put up the bat signal and let everyone know that we're going live. Back soon. All right, thanks everyone for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. We're gonna have some fun. We'll hopefully pull some really fun cards. We'll learn a lot about this set. We'll learn a lot about this upcoming football season. I got my Chiefs jersey on. I'm ready to roll. While I get my camera set up for my phone, I thought I'd mention a couple of things. As you guys know, I'm an author, and of course, you know about my sports card book. But I've written a bunch of other books, and I don't expect everyone to buy all my books. Honestly, I expect people just to buy the ones that resonate with them, whatever, if any. I also realize that not everyone even reads books anymore. We're in this like TikTok economy where everyone has a shorter attention span. I did actually create two audiobooks that you can pay and download. My first book, The Baseball Gods Are Real, and then I did it for the Republic Baseball League. And the truth is, it took a lot of time and effort to create those the audiobooks. It cost me a lot of money, about $500 in studio time each. And when you only download like 5 or 10, it doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense. However, I do realize that a lot of people, some people can't read books. And like just the other day, I was at the Royals game and I was there editing on a day game against the Oakland A's. By the way, 6-game winning streak for the Royals. Let's go. Not giving up yet. And there were these three couples, 3 husbands sitting in front, and then 3 wives sitting behind them. And like the husbands were having their talk, the girls were having their talk. It was kind of interesting. And for a long period of time, the 3 women were talking about how much they love audiobooks. One lady was saying how she has to commute 90 minutes to work each day, which is crazy. I wonder where she works. And so they all listen to books. And so I know that, having audiobooks is important. And the thing is, like, yeah, I could spend the time and the money and create more ebooks. But the truth is, I'm happy to put them out there for free. I just want to share my stories, right? And like, if people can afford to buy the books and they actually enjoy reading books because they want to be at the beach and they enjoy having a book or on a plane, whatever, that's awesome. But you know what? If people just want to be able to listen to my stories on a walk or while they're doing the dishes or, whatever, doing something else, playing video games and listening, that's fine too. And so I thought, you know what? Why don't I just put these books online on YouTube for free? I'm happy to do it. I can get the chapters out in 2 seconds. I go live. I do no editing on the fly. I might make a mistake or two here or there, but it's no big deal. It's raw and authentic, and I'm creating with AI the images of each story, and it's a lot of fun. So the point is, I've already uploaded Volume 1 of the Republic Baseball League. So now there's 2 versions out there. There's the paid-for version on Amazon and Kindle, whatever, that you can listen to, but also there's a free version on YouTube. And then I've been recording all day today. I've recorded the first 11 chapters of my fictional novel, Spirits of the Gridiron, Volume 1. That's going to be a 10-part series, but I've only put out Volume 1 so far, and I've now recorded 11 chapters, and it's been a lot of fun to put out there, and it's brand new, so please check it out after this. When you're going to sleep tonight or tomorrow on your walk or driving to work or your commute on the train, go check out my audiobooks for free. I really appreciate that. All right, let's get back to business. The business of the day is this. We got a couple of warm-up packs to get started as the chat room fills up. We got 5 in the chat so far, so I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all 5. Appreciate you guys. So we'll start with some warm-up, but we'll get to all this, I promise. All right, let's do this. Typing in 2026 Topps football. All right, we're ready to roll. Okay, let me get this stuff out of the way. We'll get to this in a minute. So yeah, so we got 2 hanger boxes, 2 mega boxes. These feel like a ton of bricks. There's a lot of cards in here. This is fascinating. And by the way, the blasters are also slimmed down. They're more like the Pokemon booster bundle boxes. Yeah, so we got this too. I promised you guys that I was going to go big on this last product, and then I'm going to take some time off spending money on and except for junk wax. I'm still buying junk wax on eBay and at shops for my next project. But as far as new stuff, this is my last big sports thing, and then I will go big on Pokemon because obviously my book, The Pokemon Gods Are Real, which is now on pre-sale, #1 on the new releases, by the way, on Amazon, which is insane. So thank you so much for that. But yes, I'll have to rip a bunch of 30th anniversary. I'll definitely buy an ATB. I had an ETB collection. I read about that. I will write about that in my book, The Card Life, Volume 3 of my Sports Card Collectors Club series. So right now I only have one. I just started rebuilding it, Pitch Black. I wound up selling over 20 ETBs. I think it was over 20, yeah, which turns out to be the top of the market about 2 months ago. Markets have really sold off since then. I did think there could be a market correction. That's not exactly why I sold them, though, because I started it as a collection and then it turned into a portfolio. The value of the ETBs became so valuable over the last 18 months. And looking at the charts, I just felt like, given the 30th anniversary and supply coming, I just felt like it was a good time to take some profits. And it turns out, at least it was in the short term. Could this be a short-term buying opportunity, but it could be the beginning of a major sell-off. You've seen what happened. Silver was at 120, went down to 60, 54 actually. Bitcoin was at 120,000, went down to 60,000, now around 65. So, markets have been correcting. Has that happened to sports cards yet? But I think a sports card correction is due, so beware. I've been posting on my sports card Twitter account all the charts. Everyone's like a hockey stick, so just be very, very careful right now. Good time to take profits, actually, Okay, so the first thing I want to do is let's start with Topps Chrome. And then we'll warm up, and then we'll go into Signature, and then Resurgence, and then we'll get into all the real brand new stuff. So yeah, I know that Topps getting back, Fanatics buying Topps was controversial. Then they bought up a lot of the licenses, which made it even more controversial. Then they were sued for antitrust, but then won the lawsuit. So maybe they're not a monopoly. Whatever. It's debatable. It's not here nor there. The real question is Topps doing a good job managing all these, all this intellectual property? And I think they have. It remains to be seen if they can design the amazing insert cards like Kaboom and Downtown. Panini did a great job with that stuff. But let's be honest. I think, prices are rising, but, they're putting out flagship stuff for $25 a blaster. They're doing a good job getting cards into people's hands for reasonable prices as much as possible. And they have, they launched Rip Night, they launched Fanatics Fest, they launched the MVP buyback program. I think Topps done a decent job. I do think that competition, however, is important. And personally, I don't think there should be exclusive licenses. I've been collecting junk wax, and I think it's so cool that back in the old days, there was Fleer, there was Donruss, there was Score, there was Topps. There were so many different players in the space, and the more the merrier. So I think that's my issue, is that I think it's fine. Topps should have as many licenses as they want, as long as everyone else can have licenses too. So I'm not sure how who was the smart executive who decided they should get exclusive deals. That was obviously very clever. It is what it is. Here's a Justin Jefferson and a Tyler Booker parallel. So I had bought a ton of Topps Chrome football from 2025, and I ripped a ton of it on my pack opening series before it became the Card Life Chronicles. And I did my first few trade shows. I really primarily go there to sell my books, but I want to have sports card stuff to sell because that's obviously a sports card show. And so I did sell some mega boxes and blaster boxes, and this happened to be one of the ones that was left over. I also have a chapter about Topps Chrome 25 football in the Card Life Volume 3. With Devon Achane on a new team this year. Just started doing my fantasy football research. I listened to a podcast today for the first time. I got a draft on September 8th, so I got to start really getting ready for that. I play in a league with all my friends that I went to summer camp with years and years ago, so shout out to all those guys. There's Jeffrey Simmons and Woody Marks. It's a bus pack. So far, we're 0 for 2 with Topps Chrome. Generally speaking, I feel like this product was printed to the moon and back. So it's been very hard to get really good pulls. I have had a couple of really good pulls. I got pulled a Jaden Daniels, super short print insert that sold for like $500, but I definitely opened more than $500 in products. So definitely took an L, but had a lot of fun, and I got to do it all online and share that. Shout out to Jordan Neal. Jordan Neal at the baseball card store. For years, I was buying, junk wax and all kinds of wax and ripping cards, and then trading in the leftovers at his store. And once he knew I was an author and I'm, he was like, dude, you should do a pack opening series and create a social media account. And I'm like, I don't know. And then what the story is, this is the true story. I finished my first book, and the pivotal chapter in that story is me watching an episode of The Card Life. So Matt Strum, his TV show. So I mailed a copy of the book to Brandon Versal, the producer, and he read the book, responded with, hey, why don't you come join me and have an episode on my show? And he did. So even before the book came out, I filmed that episode, which was so surreal. And I drove down to Chanute, Kansas, and I filmed my episode at the Neo Show Community College. And I got to meet Coach Steve Murray, and we've become friends since then. And Matt Strom was there, and he signed all my cards, by the way. He's super cool. And he filmed his episode. He had just dedicated the gym at Neo. He played at Neo Show Community College, even though he's from North Dakota. And he just spent all this money to redesign their gym. And there's a couple of giant baseball cards of him on the wall. And so while I'm watching him open packs, I'm thinking to myself, oh, Jordan Neal, he told me I should be doing pack openings. And here is, Matt Strom doing it. And he's having so much fun. He's doing it with his old ball coach. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I got to do it. And so I opened over 1,000 packs in total on my different pack opening series. But then I decided to roll it into a formal show, with intro and all that stuff. And I could do a live chat and the whole thing. So this is live. I always do it live. It's authentic like that. So if we don't get any good hits, it's too bad. If I stutter, it's going to be on for forever. But it's authentic that way, and it's real. And I think that's cool. So anyway, be John Robinson. So if I ever write a Football Gods sequel, I'll write about how the 49ers have a training facility, which is brand new, but they build it next to this whole electrical equipment facility, maybe for telecommunications, and they've had so many injuries. Look at their roster this year, look at last year, look at how many players have gotten injured. It's probably because of all that negative electromagnetic energy. Who knows? Maybe it's just bad karma. But yeah, 49ers are always getting hurt. On my fantasy strategy, I will not be drafting any 49ers. And by the way, McCaffrey, he's so good, but guess what? He's always hurt. See? There you go. And then Jaden Higgins. So if you keep in score, we're 0 for 3 with Topps Chrome football so far. That's a bust back. All right, chat's starting to wake up. We're now at 42, folks. So welcome everyone new. We're going to do a big rip session of brand new 2026 Topps football flagship, which came out yesterday, basically now, because now we're in the new day. But we're warming up with some boxes that I've been meaning to rip, and I was going to do some kind of football rip session, but now I figured we roll it onto one. So we're just getting warmed up here with Topps Chrome 2025. There's Joshua Palmer, Trevor Etienne. Ooh, what is this? Look at this, guys. Alvin Kamara out of 1999. And then a Dak Prescott, red, white, and blue. That's a really good pack. So I've always told you, you don't rip packs for profit. You rip for entertainment because it's fun, and it's a great way to enjoy the hobby. But I would say of the 1,000 packs that I opened, I'd say 85% of the packs are busts, just total waste of garbage. Waste of your money. Out of that 15%, I'd say that 13% are good packs, and then 2% are insane. So this is what I would consider to be a really good pack, right? You have a parallel of a top, a quarterback, top player, popular guy, and then a numbered card, also an insert. This is one of the throwback designs, I think, but to number 99. So by the way, I'm totally out of all my magnetic glass. I have so many cards that I have in glass right now from recent rips. I haven't processed them, so we're gonna go raw dog here. I'm gonna put all this stuff on display raw tonight. But these two definitely, I think, deserve the gallery. The Alvin Kamara numbered card and the red, white, and blue, which, by the way, has been one of the more popular. I got a bunch of Topps Chrome basketball that I've been flipping on eBay. And the red, white, and blue has been a popular insert, at least for the top players. All right, so the first three packs were a bust. Fourth pack was a good one. Numbered card and a nice parallel. It's Tyler Nubin. It's Brian Johnson. We pulled this is his base. We pulled his Ray Wave earlier. Speaking of Ray Waves, here's Cole Kemet and then Trey Amos rookie card, cornerback, worthless. It's okay. It's a bust. So that's two more to go here. Yeah, it always fascinates me how the chat works. It takes time for people to find out the show is happening. It's always spontaneous and live. Except, by the way, we will be doing this show every other Tuesday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, every other Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday we will do this show. So I know it's spontaneous, and then can't always catch it live. Sometimes you have to watch it on replay, but you always can catch it live every other Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, for sure. The show rip sessions we kind of merge into the Card Life Chronicles. The rip sessions I hope to maybe bring back down the road, maybe when I get a little more established in the hobby with like social media personality friends and whatever. But the goal of that show, we kind of canned it. But we did 2 episodes. The first one I had one guest. Second time I went solo, and that's when I was like, all right, we got to shut this down. I didn't want to have to like hunt down guests every time. I was hoping people would randomly show up by asking me just to join. But the Rip Session show was kind of like a virtual card shop. Like, when you just go to a card shop and you sit around a table with friends or strangers and you just rip packs. I got like on Topps Rip Night, for example. That was the idea. But I just don't think my show is popular enough yet. My brand's not popular enough yet where I maybe couldn't find enough people. The first time we did it was during the National, so like people were busy. Second time, whatever. I just didn't want to have to like my regular show. I have to like be a booker, like my daughter who works for Fox News, and like find guests and plan them ahead of time because that's my interview show, one-on-one, whatever. But I was hoping to get like 4 or 5 people every show, and it looked like it became too cumbersome. I realized. So if we ever can get a group of people who want to do it and make it like a regular show where I have like recurring guests, then I would bring it back. But I still wanted to rip packs and do a format where I could be live and have the chat and all that stuff. So we basically decided to merge it into the Card Life Chronicles. So anyway, yeah, that's the deal there. All right, that's a bust pack. Last one. So far, if you're keeping score, it's been all bust packs except one, which was a good pack. We pulled a red, white, and blue and a numbered card. However, this last pack needs to be much better. Otherwise, tough sledding. Let's open it up. Here we go. Then we'll move on to the next product. But yeah, it's cool that Topps is back into football. I hope they continue to do a great job with all these products. They have a huge responsibility. The hobby's counting on them. Yeah, bust pack. But I think it is cool that they have all the players. No one wants to pull a tight end, right? Everyone wants to pull quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers. But it is cool. It's a team game. Every player should be should be acknowledged. But it is true as far as like Flip Life and card values. The value's all in the quarterbacks typically. Okay, so we ripped this. This is going to be documented in my Card Life Chronicles. I'm going to put this away real quick. Just give me 1 sec. Yeah, so when I wrote the book, The Flip Life, Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 2, which comes out on December 1st, already on pre-sale, by the way, I rip a ton of hobby boxes from the junk wax era and all kinds of stuff, and I do a whole deep dive in non-sports cards. I kind of discovered Gary Vee on TikTok and social media, primarily for his. I discovered his like self-help and like entrepreneurial stuff, and then I started seeing more of his content, and he was talking about non-sports cards, and there's a chapter about him in Volume 1 called The Prophet because he predicted this whole sports card boom which has happened. But then in Volume 2, I feature him again because he predicted this whole non-sports card boom which is happening. And of course, he went all in and created V-Friends. Now, V-Friends is controversial and polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally love it. And I featured them in the book. And once I fell in love with V-Friends and ripped that stuff, then I realized, like, what else is out there? And then, of course, I had to check out the OG, Pokemon. and then that led to Marvel, and then wrestling, and all kinds of non-sports card, shenanigans, and had so much fun. And the point is, I document the whole story in literary form, kind of the way you watch people rip packs like this, but like in a nonfiction narrative format. But I should have done it also online and documented it and made videos. So that's what I'm doing now. So anything that I'm opening that's part of my Card Life Chronicles, Volume 3, will be always live, done on this show. Okay, so speaking of which, in the Flip Life Volume 2, I ripped all the Panini football products in their last year of owning the license. And then I even start ripping the top stuff, which was unlicensed because they were just kind of like getting their feet wet with a trial run. And I did rip Signature Football and Resurgence, and I honestly did not love ripping either one. It wasn't big. I'm not a big fan of licensed products to begin with, but I just thought like these products were just kind of unoriginal. But you know what? Now they had the license, and I had to give them a chance and write about it and compare and contrast from last year, which was their trial run, non-licensed, to this stuff. So let's give Signature a go first. They also did a Signature for basketball. I don't think it sold very well retail-wise, but I don't know if there's any big cards in the market. I can tell you this: for a product called Signature, I didn't pull any autographs in that product. So yeah, so we'll rip this one, and then we'll check out Resurgence, their new licensed product, and then we'll get into the flagship, which should be a lot of fun. All right, let's do it. So far we got 2 cards in the gallery. I'm not sure if the Dak Prescott Red, White, and Blue really deserved the gallery, but the Alvin Kamara insert to 199 definitely did. Awesome color. I think it's like teal. It looks beautiful. So let's be honest. This design, I don't love it. Now look, this guy right here, Myles Garrett, happened to have been a first round pick, but he's a veteran. Do you need to see a veteran the round of their draft pick and all that stuff? Probably not. It's Josh Allen. So it's kind of weird. The base design is weird. I thought it was weird last time. I remember with both of these, I thought the inserts were really good though. So I didn't love the base designs very much. Again, I don't know why they would have the draft picks for all their players. For the rookie, that would be fine for like an insert. But right here, Drake May and Stephon Diggs, Paramount Pairings, that's a pretty sick card. Drake May is very, very popular in the hobby, so I think that deserves some glass. And then we got a rookie card with undrafted player. That's cool. And then another rookie. So NFL season, like it's really happening. It's like just around the corner, but then it's like boom, it's here. I will be going to Game 3 of the preseason for the Chiefs at Arrowhead. Just found out I got offered tickets with my wife. We'll be going with my father-in-law, I think. I'm not even sure who we're playing. There's only 3 preseason games now. Typically, I kind of like don't even care about going to preseason games because the starters don't play and whatever. But I think everyone kind of will play for Game 3. I think that's kind of important, and I'm curious to see if Mahomes is healthy and if the offensive line can protect him. Here's a cool insert for Jordan Love. Does that deserve the gallery? I think it does. I heard Jordan Love is hurt. Is that right? Is he hurt this year? I got to really brush up on my fantasy football and get updated on all the injuries and stuff like that. That's critical for a draft. So yeah, so far, my feeling is similar to when it was unlicensed. I didn't love the base design, but I remember thinking that the inserts were all really cool, and I feel that way again so far. Just not loving this design. Paper feels pretty good for paper cards. Kyler Murray Sunday Showcase. So I think this one will pass on putting in the gallery. But Kyler Murray was announced will be the starter in Minnesota, and I've always been fond of him. You give that guy a good offensive line, he could be pretty good. We'll see. Jamar Chase. Everyone's talking about how Jamar Chase should be the number 2 pick in fantasy draft. Do you guys agree with that? Seems like it's way too high for me. I always prefer to be in the back of the draft, kind of let everyone else take those early picks, see where what they play. It's kind of like poker in a way. I'm in a 3 wide receiver league now, and so I feel like wide receivers have become much more important than they used to be. I used to be a running back heavy kind of guy. Now I'm realizing that to win a championship, you got to have 3 good wide receivers. My fantasy football team is called the Kansas City Football Gods, by the way. You know it. So I remember when this chat was 5 people. Now we're at 233. So welcome to all the newcomers. We will be getting to the featured product 2026 Top Football. We're just warming up with some 2025 Topps Chrome, 2025 Signature Football, and then the last product of the cycle from last year's draft class, 2025 Resurgence. And then we'll get into the flagship, the first product of the new year with Mendoza on the cover. It's 2026, so we'll get to that for sure. So hang tight. It's fun. I was actually recording episodes for my audiobook, Spirits of Gridiron, all evening and watching the Royals game. But the truth is, I didn't want to do a rip until late at night because I know a lot of other people are ripping this product today, and I don't want to have to compete with anybody. But I do want people to watch because it's kind of more fun when people watch. So and join the chat. So I figured if I do it late night, all the other breakers and stuff might be done. So the timing was pretty good. All right, here we go. Bijan Robinson, first round pick this year, yeah. So most of them are paper, but then some of these are like chromium. Bust. Okay, so 2 packs to go, and we have pulled these 2 cool inserts, but let's be honest. Bust. Let's get some magic going right here. Here we go. Daniel Jones. Nico Collins. That's a cool insert. Rookie card for Hampton. I think the Chargers will be better. I think the Rams will be a lot better. I think the Chargers, though, could be a lot better this year. I think they could really compete. That's a cool-looking card. Another good-looking insert. These kind of parallels don't do much for me. One more pack to go. We need something to save this. I think this deserves some love in the gallery. It's a good-looking card. It's a cool insert. Class action. Winning starts here. Last pack magic. Let's do it. Devontae Smith, Zach Ertz. Ooh, look at this. That's another cool insert. So that's the thing. I don't love the base design, but the inserts are pretty sweet. Controversial Puka Nacua. He's been in trouble lately, I hear. Riley Leonard. Offensive lineman. Class icons. All right, that was a bust. And with the first blaster, so there were 3 inserts that I liked that were worthy of the gallery, but we're talking like $2, maybe $5. And then the 2000 Topps Chrome, which I think cost $40, by the way. 1 numbered card and 1 red, white, and blue. That Alvin Kamara is maybe worth $10. The Dak Prescott red, white, and blue, maybe like $2. So big losses on both of those blasters. For those keeping score. I mean, I think it's fascinating. I do all this as a business expense. It's also entertainment for me, but I don't fool myself. I know that it's not a good investment. If you want to do this for investment, buy singles. And even though I think that investing in sports cards is a really fun hobby, be very careful right now. Prices of not just the goats, like everything is like hockey stick chart, and what goes up must come down eventually. Even if it's just temporary pullback. So be very, very careful. If you buy what you love, even if it's to flip eventually or to invest, then it's not that big of a deal if the prices go down. But if you're buying stuff because it's like like not even love you because you think someone else will love it, like that kind of thing, then I'd be very careful right now because prices are very, very elevated. Packaging feels good. It's the smaller box. It's kind of real sleek looking. Again, I didn't love. I didn't like write a negative chapter about this product, but I just didn't love it. I thought it was interesting how they use a different rookie logo, which I thought was kind of like, like A for effort, but I didn't love it. I do like the packaging, and the box has a weird, interesting feel to it. I can't even describe how the box feels. It's like matte feeling. It's like sleek or something. I don't know. It's hard to describe. All right, but let's see if we can pull anything interesting in this pack. The last product of the top cycle, now licensed Resurgence. Yeah, okay, so this, unlike the last design for Signature, which I really didn't care for, this new base design, I think it's pretty nice, pretty cool. I'm down with it. There's Tyler Warren, rookie card. Dexter Lawrence. I mean, obviously, it's all personal preference and taste. It's obviously like a Photoshop design. I've always preferred the real photos of players on the field, fans in the stands, kind of like how NBA Hoops always kind of does that photography. So I don't love the Photoshop stuff, but the cards feel good. They're all chrome, so that's all right. Definitely, I like it more than Signature. Of course, Signature is also a mix of paper and chrome. This is all kind of chrome Photoshop. There's Ladd McConkey, Drake May. So this is just a cool, all right. It's just a cool design. I mean, it's just beautiful artwork. I mean, obviously it was done digitally with Photoshop, whatever. But I'm not just saying it's a Chief. Josh Simmons rookie card, but it's a cool parallel. Does it deserve the gallery? I'll say no. But when I first saw this on the shelves, I just kind of went past it, and then I regretted it. I figured, you know what, I probably should have bought a couple because I, should document it for the book. And then the next day I went back and they were all gone. So I was even glad just to even get this one because it's been very popular. I mean, football's always been very popular, especially in Kansas City. Darius Slayton, Devontae Smith. This is Xavier Worthy, Go Chiefs. I mean, what is this thing? Voltage. It's a pretty card. Definitely a pretty card. So we'll add it to the gallery for its beauty, not for its monetary value. Cool insert. Xavier Worthy, gotta stay healthy. Hope he can have a really big season. There's Nick Bosa, Mike Evans. He's already kind of injured. Whoa, there's Xavier Worthy with a numbered card at a 275 of that same insert in the same pack. I think it's the same pack, right? Check that out. Boom. It's really a pretty one, too. All right, that's cool. At a 275, not that rare, but Brock Bowers, is he the number one tight end this year in fantasy sports? I think he is. There's Brian Thomas. There's Jordan Love. That's a cool looking card. So check out this. The rookie logo. Last year they had like a rookie card, I think, logo kind of like this. Or I think that's how I remember at least. I have 3 to go. I'm on St. Brown. I hope I can get him on my team this year. Same with George Pickens, Chris Olave, and Emeka Ibuka. He was on my team last year for MSC. He was pretty good. Then he got hurt, I think. Or played hurt. I don't know. All right, 2 more to go. Dak Prescott at base. Kyle Hamilton. Zay Flowers. That's just a beautiful looking card, too. Look at that thing. Damn. That's gallery. Look at that's just beautiful. Go Tops. Good job. Dyke. All right, last pack. So who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Drop your pick for Super Bowl. Who's going to win it? Michael Penix this year's a backup. Kyron Williams. Jalen Royals. Will Howard. All right. So Resurgence, I got to give it a thumbs up. All chrome, pretty cool base design, even though it's photoshopped, and the inserts are terrific. Really cool artwork. Like this Zay Flowers is beautiful, and then this was an insert parallel numbered. But look at that. It's just beautiful, right? All right, guys. Thank you for your patience with that. It was kind of like the warm-up act. Now we're going to get down to some serious business. Very, very excited to break into all this 2026 Topps flagship football. Here we go. So you guys want to, what do you think we should open first? Let's go with a blaster. We have a lot of blasters. So sleek new design. Look, are they saving money on cardboard? Yeah, which is good for the environment. Is it gonna allow them to put more boxes on the shelf? Yep, that's good too. So it's good for the environment. It's good for their profits. It's good for shelf space for retailers. It reminds me of the Pokemon booster bundle boxes. I used to have a boss named Mark Romeo. Shout out Mark Romeo. He used to always pat me on the back and say to me, Fink, it's all in the spirit of continuous improvement. That's an important kind of mantra to live by in business, in sports, with relationships, family, partners, you name it. All right, so Evan Mendoza's already had 2 starts now, I think. I love his attitude, by the way, but I don't think he's like lit it up. His first game, I think he had a good start. Second one, not so much. The backup actually had the comeback for them. So I'm not sure if what his market's going to be like, honestly. And truthfully, without him, like Jordan Love, maybe it's not a very strong rookie class in my opinion. Compare that to years past when you had like Caleb Williams and Drake May and Bo Nix, stuff like that. Much better. Oh, and Shador Sanders, who is one of my favorite players. I'm rooting for Shador. He got blackballed at the draft. Then he's been getting treated terribly in Cleveland by their management. I hope he gets a chance to play. Last year, he finally got a chance to play, and he was terrific. So we'll see what happens with this guy. I hope he gets another chance. Rico Dowdle. So obviously this design is familiar. It looks just like baseball, right? So it's going to be consistent through all the four main sports, which I think makes sense. It's predictable, yeah, but it's good. It's um, every year the design will be very, very recognizable. The same way we look back at the retro designs from like the 50s and 60s, you know. Micah Parsons. I still can't believe the Cowboys traded him to the Packers. Bo Nix. All right, so Caleb Downs, he's just a cornerback from Ohio State, but I think he's going to be really, really good. Can't say that this will be worth anything, but we'll keep it out for just in case. Alec Pierce with the parallel, and this is cool. Baker Mayfield, greatest hits. It's paper, probably worth nothing, but that's interesting. All right, so first pack in. It's a fun rip, dude, for sure. I love ripping football. And you know what? With Fox flagship, you're putting out a blaster. It's now called value at $25. Good job, Topps. I'd say that is good value. That really answers to the issues with rising prices and stuff like that. If you put out a flagship product that's printed to a high level and everyone gets their hands on it, including the kids, and they can afford it, that's awesome. Then people really can't complain that there's high boxes that go in for too much, because you just want to make sure that the low end, you know, the typical hobbyist, usually like think about the 10-year-old kid, you know, what can they afford with their salary from cutting grass. Bryce Young. I think Carolina will probably struggle again this year. Philadelphia, Cameron Hayward, Spencer Fano, Washington. Whoa, what's this? Oh, this is the Christian McCaffrey All-Star team. And this is pressure cookers. A new insert for Drake May. Yeah, that's cool. That's a nice design. Drake May is pretty big time. Very, very high expectations for him, I think, in his next year, I'd say, for sure. So Evan Mendoza needs to have a big year for this hobby, for this rookie class to be exciting. But you know what? Even if he's not even great on the field, he's so awesome off the field. His personality is so hilarious. Like, he loves football so much. Like, he's the kind of guy, he doesn't want to go to clubs. He wants to like watch film and go to bed and drink whole milk. You know, he's very refreshing. So I like his personality. He's kind of like a nerdy geek kind of vibe, and it's great. So I think he could become very, very popular either way, and maybe his cards will do well just because people like him so much. We'll see. Ron Achan, Nico Collins, Nick Bolton, Derek Moore, Garrett Wilson. Shout out to Gary V, huge Jets fan. Garrett Wilson's got a lot of potential, but someone's got to be able to throw him the ball. This is cool. Just a rookie Taylor Green, but it's the 35th anniversary retro design. That's very cool. I like that. I mean, Spencer Rattler was the backup in New Orleans that I thought could emerge and like have a really good career. He had his shot, didn't work out, and then this guy comes in and he makes the All-Star team. Chuba Hubbard, Adonai Mitchell, Mason Graham, Mark Andrews, Harrison Butker was the only Chief not invited to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. Yikes. Not cool. Joe Burrow gets the horizontal. Derek Brown. Reggie Virgil. Brock Purdy. That's a good looking card. That's sweet. So far, it feels like flagship, right? A lot of paper, nothing special so far. Gotta think how much they've printed this stuff, so you can't get too excited. But when you do pull a numbered card or a big hit, it's gonna be even more special because you know how hard it is to do. I don't know the exact print run, and the odds have not been released yet, but they're probably not great. TJ Watt. My wife and I have been watching the Tires on Netflix. I think TJ Watt has an episode, a cameo coming up. I'm excited about that. Ted Johnson, Daniel Jones, Bears, Geno Smith, George Pickens, Jacob Rodriguez, Cowboys, Sam Darnold. Wow, gosh, he got disrespected in his last couple teams, right? Jets, Minnesota, and then now he's like a Super Bowl potential candidate every year. That's awesome. Never give up, man. Okay, that was the second list, the last pack for the first blaster. So definitely been a significant bust so far, but I remain optimistic. Ever optimistic. Yeah, I like the design. I like it a lot. Devontae Adams, his career is not done. Trey Tucker. Whoa, sorry, heads up. Little lo-fi technology here, guys. My bad. There you go. Kenneth Walker III. I mean, he was a Super Bowl MVP, I think, wasn't he? With Seattle. Gosh, he could be really good with the Chiefs this year. We'll have to wait and see. Cam Scatterbo, future stars, second year, hopefully healthy. There he is. I think it's a $20 card. So the first blaster winds up being a success. Did we recoup our losses? Well, actually, yeah. We $25 blaster. Maybe we only had one pull, so maybe we break even. And we got this Ricky Purcell too. We'll put Fernando Mendoza in the gallery. That's the chase card for the rookie base for sure. So we delivered in the first blaster after all. Let's do a hanger next. Also, new packaging. Oh, hold on. Let me keep track of this too. Okay, so if you're in this hobby long enough, I'm sure you've heard this term, hangers or bangers. By the way, this year, new design, sleek and thin. And the reason why people say that is because typically the hanger box is like the lowest entry point, lowest cost. I think this is $15. They have certain guaranteed parallels. So this one's 59 cards for $15. Do the math. That's pretty decent card per price per card. So yeah, so I think this is pretty good. This really is a decent value, and you might wind up getting some interesting hits in here. You can pull autos, and again, a lot of times hangers seem to be loaded for some reason. And like I know with like Topps flagship basketball, they were, and they sold out quickly, and then they went on eBay for very, very high prices. So you just get one big fat pack. Let's do this in sections. Say Flowers, Aaron Jones Sr., Will Johnson, Marvin Harrison Jr. He's kind of been a bust, yeah? Ryan Hampton, Pat Bryant, Josh Allen. So fantasy sports, real quick. I mean, like, there's always so many quarterbacks. There's no reason to take a quarterback early. I've learned you can just wait and wait and wait, and you can get amazing value at quarterbacks late in drafts. You'd be shocked. Josh Allen's one of those kind of guys that, like, people always want to chase because he runs in a lot of stuff. He might be one of the few examples. He may never win a Super Bowl, but he's a really great fantasy quarterback. And yeah, you hate owning the running backs for the Bills because so many times he'll keep a ball and he'll run it in himself. So fourth, fifth round, sixth round, if he's available, I'd probably take him. Matt Collins, Kyren Williams, Marvin Mims. What a great name. Puka Nacua, Theo Johnson, Caleb Williams, Tyron Tracy, Drake London, TJ Hawkinson, Jaguars, Josh Jacobs, Quoth the Ravens, Jaden Reed, Double J's, Quentin Johnson, Juwan Johnson. It's Jackson Dart with the Future Stars. Put this paper. Rev it up. Sauce Gardner. Like Neighbors doing the Heisman. Christian McCaffrey, can he stay healthy? I don't know. Michael Pittman Jr. Reggie Virgil rookie. Jacob Rodriguez rookie. Look at this run of rookies. There we go. Boom. So $15 hanger, pulled a $20 number one draft pick, Fernando Mendoza. Very, very nice. Hangers might be bangers, guys. I mean, if you break even, it's a win, right? I mean, you break even, you're happy. So rarely do you actually make money ripping wax. I like how they have some of these shinies. This is a like a salty speckle. Whoa, look at this one. So yeah, so these are the guaranteed inserts. So not the guy you probably want, but you pull a Fernando Mendoza of this, and you're chilling. Whoa, Amon St. Brett. Oh, dude, this was okay. This has been a really good hanger, man. Hangers are bangers. Red alert. It's true. Caleb Williams and the greatest hits. Dude, yeah, $15. Go back to Dick's tomorrow and be buying that all day. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be going back. They had limits today too of everything at Dick's, but you can go back tomorrow. But you get $15. You get like 59 cards, some couple cool inserts, and again, if you get lucky with the right player, that could be very significant. So far so good. We've pulled two Mendozas. We're 2 for 2. One blaster, one hanger down, and we got two Mendozas, so that's pretty good. So we went blaster, hanger. Now we got to go mega. 12 packs, 15 cards per pack, 180 total cards. It feels like a brick. You could literally throw this through someone's window and it would do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, yeah. This is I feel like Topps really is giving a lot of good value with the flagship product. That's awesome. So many people are negative in the hobby, and that's fine. It's good to be critical, but it's also good to give credit where credit is due. Well, one sec. There are literally YouTubers who have become very, very successful just because they are feeding into this hobby negativity. And people who like to complain about PSA or Fanatics or whoever, um, you know, it's very popular. I think it's good to be critical, though, definitely. Um, and I actually do enjoy some of that content from time to time. I admit. All right, so let's get into this mega. 15 cards per pack. That's fun. Let's go. So far, we're 2 for 2. Two blaster, got one blaster, one hanger. We've pulled two Fernando Mendozas. Abdul Carter, Zach Bond, Isaiah Likely, Bo Nix. I'm bullish on Bo Nix. I'm a Chiefs fan, but I think Bo Nix has been great. Justin Jefferson, Bryce Young, Bryce Lane, Skylar Bell, Chris Bell, Chris Godwin, Isaiah Bond. Whoa. So J.J. McCarthy, it's only his second year. He lost his starting job to Kyler Murray. People have gotten destroyed on his card prices for patch autos and stuff like that. Not gallery worthy because of that, but that's a cool looking design. And then a greatest hits, Caleb Williams. That's cool. Deebo Samuel, Deion Dawkins, Jordan Davis, Braylon Allen, Eagles, Cameron Haywood, Devon Achane. I like those uniforms. Jeremiah Love. It's the first time we've pulled him. He could be a real relevant rookie. Jones, Tesla, DJ Metcalf, Matthew Golden, Lewis Bond, rookie. That's a cool looking card. CJ Stroud with the retro design. I don't know much about this guy. Only 4 FBS players had more receptions in 2005 than Lewis from Boston College. All right. Well, if we pull one of those two again, we'll put it in the gallery, maybe. Jameer Gibbs, RJ Harvey, Jack Campbell, Kyle Hamilton, Jared Verse. Good name: Sonny Styles, Deion Burks, Malik Washington, Roma Dunze, Byron Murphy, Saquon Barkley, All-Star team. Bus pack. 307 of you, thank you for joining tonight. Appreciate it. I remember when there was 5 in here. My 5 OGs still around? Let me know in the chat. There's Thibodeau, America's Duo, Milton Williams, Seattle Slays, Buda Baker, great name, Joe Thuney. It's the first time we've pulled one of these. That's cool. They're doing these. They have a stat top 3 in stat leaders. Cornell Tate, Nick Singleton, back-to-back Titan rookies. Cole Payton, Hunter Henry, great name. Tyler Bass, Jerry Jeudy, great name. Whoa, look at this banger. Holy shit. Hold on, wait. First of all, so I featured Jaden Daniels in my book, The Flip Life, Volume 2. I pull his card in his rookie card in 6 different consecutive products. What is this? It's profiles. So this is probably not worth anything, but Jaden Daniels is sentimental to me and my book series. So that goes in right there. And then look what's going on here. Caleb Williams. I don't know the name of this insert, but it's out of 150. So far, 2026 football has been pretty good. As Larry David would say, pretty good. So we've been going for an hour and 12 minutes. I'm getting tired. I don't know if I'll be able to rip through all this stuff, guys. Need more coffee. Mike Evans. Oh, there's my boy Patrick Mahomes. Hope he's healthy this year. Nick Bosa. Cool photography alert. McMillan. Raging Bulls. Taylor. Malik Willis. Mon St. Brown. J.J. McCarthy base. Love Patrick Mahomes. He's my GOAT. I know something is Tom Brady. I don't know if Mahomes will ever get as many rings, but I think that Mahomes is pure athleticism, which is at a different level. No disrespect to Brady. He's been amazing. He had an amazing career, too. But for me, Patrick Mahomes is my GOAT. Christian Watson, Colby Young, Colton Hood, Anthony Hill Jr., Patrick Queen, Cam Ward, future stars. Not if they don't give him some people to throw to and some line to block for this guy. Woody Marks, Cole Payton. Yeah, you get a lot of value out of this mega box. This is only halfway through. Blake Corum, Giants, Jeffrey Simmons, rushing leaders, Drake May base, Lewis Bond, Malaki Lawrence, Bucky Irving, one of the great names in football. Bucky, Green Bay. Travis Hunter. I featured Travis Hunter in the Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 1. I do an investment chapter about him and Shedeur Sanders and Colorado, University of Colorado Buffaloes. Whoa, look at this. Howie Long. Not numbered, though. But it's pink. I interviewed Michaela Bear last week on my show, Sports Card Collectors Club podcast, and she super collects pink. So shout out to you, Michaela. So just for Michaela, this will go into the gallery because she's awesome. This is to salute her. And Devontae Adams. So yeah, so what I think is going to happen, guys, is I'm going to wrap it up after this box, and I'm going to go tomorrow to Dick's Sporting Goods on my way to the gym. I'm going to pick up some more stuff, and then we'll do one more big rip session probably tomorrow night, late night. So yeah, I'm getting pretty tired, and that's no fun for anybody. But I do thank you. I mean, I do love watching these the chat room grow from 5 people to over 300. You know, so I hate to leave you guys hanging, but it is getting late. Aaron Rodgers, what a career he's had. I'm rooting for him, dude. He was proven right about the vaccine big time. He's been vindicated. He was totally demonized for not getting the vax, right? Ashton Gent. I noticed that a lot of the second future stars are all second-year players, right? There's Ashton Genty, Nico Collins, Nick Bolton, Harrison Butker. The only person not invited to Taylor and Travis Kelce's wedding, Joe Burrow, Keelan Black, TJ Parker, Jake Ferguson. He's a sleeper, dude. He was my tight end last year in fantasy. He's great. Devontae Smith, Darren Payne, Jalen Warren, Max Clark with the retro 35-year. I'll do a quick recap before we wrap up, and I'll show you the favorite cards. Bobby Wagner, tackle leaders, Derek Brown, Bears, Geno Smith. Wow, the Jets are going to go with Geno Smith this year. Yikes. There it is. I'm getting tired. There it is. George Pickens. I'm yawning. Josh Cameron, C.J. Williams, Brees Hall, Reese, and Daniel Jones. Yeah, Daniel Jones got big money in New York for the New York Giants. He was terrible, but he really had no supporting cast, no offensive line. Goes to Indianapolis. They have a great offensive line and a great running game, and it makes the All-Star team. Go figure. Kind of like Sam Darnold, right? Scatabo, great name. Caleb Douglas. T. Higgins. Alvin Kamara. Back-to-back Saints. Love it. Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry. Back-to-back Ravens. So yeah, so you get a lot of that. You get a lot of satisfaction out of opening a mega box. That's a lot of cards. Nice job, Tops. Really fun. Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren, DeRon Bland, Jameson Williams, Travis, Kelsey, Dylan Gabriel, Quentin Nelson, Kamari Lassiter, Jeremy Bernard, Emmett Johnson, Ty Simpson. He had a great college career. Rams are a playoff team for sure. They could go Super Bowl bound. He's one injury away from being a quarterback of a really good team. James Cook, Jordan Addison, Baker, the touchdown maker. All right, last pack. Do you believe in last pack magic? I do. Let's go. Leonard Williams, Tyler Higbee, Romeo Doubs, Quinn Ewers, Tui Tagovailoa. If he can stay healthy, I'm rooting for him, man. He probably should have retired. He's had so many concussions, but he's going to get the start in Atlanta, and we'll see what he does. I'm rooting for him. Double J's, Michael Wilson, Will Campbell, Zion Young, Adam Randall, Zay Flowers, Aaron Jones. We're done. So yeah, that was super fun. Let's do a quick recap. Let's show you how we did. So yes, we still got this mega, 4 blasters, and a hanger, and I'll pick up probably a couple more tomorrow, and then we'll do another rip session tomorrow or the next day. Who knows when? Sometime soon. So this was not numbered or anything special, but it's. I'm not sure if it's actually pink. It could be considered purple, but check out my interview with Michaela Bear on the Collecting and Connecting Network and the Sports Card Collectors Club YouTube channel. What a great interview. What a cool lady she is. So this is for her. Caleb Williams at a 150. Very nice. He played against Tulane in the Cotton Bowl as a senior, and we had a huge comeback and won. One of the best games in Tulane history. Huge loss for him, but I knew he was going to be pretty good. He's been good. We'll see if it can keep it up. Jaden Daniels. This card right now, this insert's worthless, but I feature Jaden Daniels in the Flip Life Volume 2, which is now on pre-sale, by the way, and I pull his rookie card in 6 consecutive different football products. Which is wild. Then in 2 products back-to-back, in a hanger and in a blaster, we pull the top rookie, Fernando Mendoza. I hope he has a great year. I think they're trading for $20 each. So we actually turned a profit on the hanger, although maybe with tax we break even. And then decent recoup on the blaster there. Here's a Drake May with a really cool insert. Like that a lot. This is from Resurgence. This is Zay Flowers. Just love that design. Again, might be worth $1, but just cool design. Speaking of cool designs, also numbered from Resurgence. This is a Voltage from Resurgence. This is Xavier Worthy. It's a cool looking card. Then from Top Signature, first time ever license, Paramount pairing with Drake May and Stephon Diggs. Nice looking card. Might be worth $5, I'm guessing. The only red, white, and blue parallel from Topps Chrome Football with Dak Prescott, probably a $2 card. Mari Hampton from Signature Football, Class Action, probably a $2 card, but I just love the design. It's also a rookie card. Top Signature, I don't love their base design, but their inserts really do pop and look great. Here's one that I just thought was cool design with Jordan Love. And then lastly, from Topps Chrome, we got the anniversary retro design, Alvin Kamara out of $199. Really, I love that color, that teal, looking really good. So yeah, so we have a good amount to rip tomorrow night or later this weekend. And I thank you all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. We went from 5 people to 310, so we finished really, really strong as we approach the 90-minute mark. Sorry I can't go longer, guys. I'm just too tired. If I'm tired, it ain't fun. I do this I do this stuff because I love doing it. And I was doing chapters all night for my audiobook, so it's actually been a long evening for me. But it's been a lot of fun. Royals got to win. They've won 6 games in a row. They still might have a chance at the wild card. Who knows? I'm still believing. Anyway, you guys take care, and I appreciate you all. And as always, God bless. Oh, real quick, I just saw Paulie showed up with a comment. Jackson Dart starts under 8 games this season. I'd say under. I watched the Jackson Dart video with him and John Gruden, the coach, and when he was a rookie, and John Gruden was like showing him all these videos where he was tucking the ball and running and getting hit on the sideline and just being very, very. He does not protect himself. He's at risk. Not a good offensive line. It's crazy how the prices of Jackson Dart cards have been. He's been sky high, and he's got a super hot girlfriend. I give him props for that. But I wonder if he can stay healthy. Offensive line is not good enough, and I don't think he protects his body enough. So yeah. Appreciate the great show, Paulie. I appreciate that. Yeah, Royals, crazy, man. I went to the game. I edited, and I did a post that they had won 4 in a row. Then they won that game. They swept the A's. Tonight they beat the Tigers, which is a very important in division game. So now we're in the driver's seat, and stranger things have happened. I remember in 2014 the Royals got hot, and we've actually made the wild card and eventually made it to the World Series. So I am forever hopeful, always a dreamer, always a loyal Royals fan. And you know what? There could be a strike next year or a lockout. It might not be baseball. So I am surely enjoying every last pitch of this season. So Paulie, thank you always for providing me this platform. I love the Collecting and Connecting Network and the family we've created. Great group of people. Guys, check out the High Hard One, 7:30 Sunday night. We had 20,000 people watching us last show, and we have more stuff to talk about next show with the Los Angeles Dodgers and their new scandal. So much to talk about. It's going to be great. And now 5 weeks to go in the season, so that's really cool too. So yeah, this was a fun rip. We'll do it again probably tomorrow night or the next night. Check out my audiobook series on the YouTube channel, and don't forget to check out the interview with Michaela Bear from last Tuesday on the Collecting and Connecting Network. Anyway, you guys take care. Paulie, love you, buddy. Thanks for your support always. Anyway, as always, God bless.
Rip surprise. The Card Life Chronicles. A wild surprise.